Yo, 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 this is Prophet, aka Percussion. You're tuned into Future Perfect. This episode is brought to you by JC Enterprises. The owner, Jeremy, is currently training for the Team for Kids Marathon in New York, November 5th, and is offering a very special deal for our listeners. If you submit an inquiry on his website, jcconnects.com, with the promo code FuturePerfectFit, you will get your first session absolutely free. Again, that's FuturePerfectFit on jcconnects.com. Ow!
Perfect. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tex. Right now, we're here for a very special episode. This is our first Friday episode. Fun fact about this episode is with our actual first guest, but the audio for that episode was unsalvageable, so we're getting that run back. Our guest right now requires no introduction, so I'm not going to introduce him. Let's just get straight into it. Now, I'm just playing with you. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Prophet, a.k.a. Percussion. Let me get a little... There we go, a little cheer right there.
Thank you. My honor.
Nah, man, it's nice to have you here. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, likewise, man. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me, for real.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, we're trying to get into the motion of giving a bit more content. So with episodes like these, we wanted to be focused on specific things, to make it a little bit of interesting. What we decided to do is, I called my man Prophet up, and I was like, yo, man, you got some music that people really need to understand where you're coming from. Yeah, so I figured let's take a time, let's sit down and chop up a couple of your songs, break them down lyric by lyric, you know what I mean?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm with it, man.
Which one do you want to start out with, man?
So I just recently put out these two, not remixes and not not a classical freestyle off the top of the head, but I just put out something on these two big pun beats. What you gonna do? Kind of like a remix freestyle, and then You Ain't a Killer. So those are the two newest joints, and I'm about to get ready to shoot the videos for those and drop those. So definitely think those are the songs I get into.
Word, man. So for the people at home, man, just give us a little idea of your music and your inspiration behind your music and everything.
So I've been making music for about 11 going on 12 years, I would say. I started when I was in 8th grade. I was working with my boy Keith or whatever. He's the person who got me into music. And then when I kind of understood the value of it, kind of being an outlet for me, to say whatever I wanted, and kind of just have ears, the page always listens to me, so that was always good. I just use it as an outlet. So for me, the most important thing is when I make music, I just know everything I say counts, I keep in mind that everything I do is accounted for, and I'm going to have to answer for everything that I do, so when I think about that, I want to make sure that whatever, rapping or whatever I'm spitting, I'm not just wasting my time on the mic, but I'm actually saying something worth some value that I wouldn't be afraid to be responsible for.
No, that's dope. That's dope, man. Yo, so let's get into the first song. What's the first song you want to get into?
First song we can get into is What You Gonna Do. It's an ill classic big pun song. The beat is fire. It was actually one of the. I don't usually release brand new material, but it's actually a fresh verse that I wrote that I was like, I'm gonna lay it down and I'm gonna put it out right away. Yeah, we could just get right into it if you want.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, so I start out first full bar is you niggas hot for the wrong reasons. You only hot cause the cops keep watch, got the drop peeping. Lobster plates with DAs, how they plot scheming. The most long-winded be the first to stop breathing. So that's pretty much just talking about niggas say they hot, but they hot for the wrong reasons, you know what I'm saying? These dudes is in the streets making the scene hot, you know what I mean? And then they end up cooperating, you know what I mean? They usually end up be the ones who be the snitches because they're so exposed and so vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole scheme of the plot of that, you know what I mean? Lobster plates with DAs, how they plot scheming. The most long-winded be the first to stop breathing. So whoever's snitching, usually in the streets, they be the first one to stop breathing. I mean, they niggas go see them. And then I go on to say, watch how I verbalize. The nerve of guys who be fairy tale serving pies. Serving pies is obviously flipping work, you know what I mean? So I go in from bringing that concept into watch how I verbalize the nerve of guys who be fairy tale serving pies. These dudes really don't be selling no work. Talking numbers on the block, letting birds fly. I makes a lot, such the marks open third eyes. So these dudes is on the block, they talking this and this. Well, this is what I'm into. I makes a lot, I pray, you know what I'm saying? And when you pray, you know what I mean, you get what they call a sajda mark. So, when us Muslims pray, we put our head on the ground. And when you put your head on the ground repeatedly, you kind of get a callus or a mark on your head. And that ironically falls into the same place where they say your third eye is supposed to be. And when you praying and you in that spiritual state, it can open your third eye. So then I was like, watch, I make salat such the marks open third eyes. I rep for the deen. You know what I'm saying? The deen is the religion. So I rep for Islam. I'm a king with no prince, like the weapon is clean. So I'm a king and I got no prince. And when a weapon has no prince, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's just a play on words. I'm a king with no prince, like the weapon is clean. Before I'm blessed with who I'm blessed with as a queen, I gotta have a kingdom, so I invest in my dreams. So I'm just following that king metaphor, that prince metaphor, talking about when I have my queen, I want to have a kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Have my house, all of that. So it was like, I got to have a kingdom, so I invest in my dreams. Make money flip, somersault, till I need another vault. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Make money flip, somersault, till I need another vault. I'm taking off like a rocket in a catapult. So I'm taking off like a rocket is something that takes off in a catapult. So I'm going twice on you, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm taking off like a rocket in a catapult. When everybody counted me out, I kept reminding myself, they don't know how to count. Now I'm doing numbers and my name's growing in clout. I always knew y'all never knew what y'all was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's self-explanatory, you know what I mean? When people counted me out, I was just telling myself, they don't know how to count, man. They don't know what they talking about. And now it shows and proves. I always knew y'all never knew what y'all was talking about because I'm doing numbers.
Now that's tough. Tough one right
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I always knew y'all never knew what y'all was talking about. We keep our business tighter than mobs. You know, mobs, how they keep their business, everything airtight.
Yeah.
Never fold like clothes because I live my job. Don't come for me. All my enemies are getting robbed by Arab niggas who stick beef like shish kebab. So, you know what I mean? When it comes to me doing my business, you know what I'm saying? I'm very, very serious and thorough. And if you try to come for my business, that's when things get gangster. You know what I mean? Some dudes, they get gangster just because they want to get gangster. You know what I mean? For me, is if you interfere with my business, that's when I have to result in getting gangster. And the whole play on words with that is like, don't come for me. All my enemies are getting robbed by Arab niggas who stick beef like shish kebab. So shish kebab is an Arab dish. I know some Arab niggas, but I'm saying my beef is my enemies, or my enemies is my beef. So don't come for me. You getting stick. You know what I mean? Arab niggas who stick niggas like shish kebab. Like, it's just like an ill play on words. You know what I'm saying? Subliminal shits.
Nah, I'm following you. You good.
I know you follow me. You know, just make sure the listeners catch on to it because I always get that, yo, what are you talking about? How does this relate with this? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So just want to tie the pieces in. Don't come for me. All my enemies are getting robbed by Arab niggas who stick beef like shish kebab. That's because I'm globally known. Still supporting businesses locally owned. I be plotting on my moves, then I fall in the zone. Reflecting on every moment before I put it in poems. So that's just like straightforward me just talking to the people like, yo, I reflect on everything before I put it in a poem. And then I go, had regrets, long nights, and light sleep. I made mistakes thinking I was soiling the right seeds. Even when they last words is bye leave, it's still an easy breakup like dry weed. So that's right there is referencing my relationships, you know what I mean? Women are significant others, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm also using a subliminal metaphor of plants, you know what I mean? So I'm saying I had regrets, long nights, and light sleep. I made mistakes thinking I was soiling the right seeds. Even when their last words is bye, leave, you know what I'm saying? Soil seeds leave, it's still an easy breakup like dry weed, you know what I'm saying? So weeds is another thing. But also, if anybody ever had dry weed and they break it up, you just pinch it and it's dust. You know what I'm saying? So it's still an easy breakup for me. Like, and the reason why it's an easy breakup is explain it in the next bar. I never give women my heart. They gotta earn it. I know what I offer. I don't know if they deserve it. You ain't gotta talk if you see the bigger purpose. Speak through your actions and show me that you're worth it. Or show me that you're worthless. And then that's just the end of the joint, you know what I mean? Just some quick balls.
Word, man. What was the state that you were in when you were writing that, man? What was going through your mind?
That's a good one. So like sometimes I go on these hiatuses from writing, you know what I mean? Like when I first used to write, like I'm talking about hundreds of bars a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just a real bar addict. Like all I used to do was write. And now like I kind of find it harder for me to write, you know what I'm saying? To draw inspiration, you know what I mean? To find something. So when I was in that state, I wasn't really writing like that. I told myself, I was like, yo, I got to just start writing. And so kind of I tricked myself into this mentality, like when I have to get something done or when I have to do something, I start telling myself I have to do it. So I just was telling myself I have to write some bars just because, you know what I'm saying? Like I had a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And this is always like my stress relief, my outlet. I just was sitting on a bench in the park at like 10:30 at night. The lights is off and I just started writing. I think the first bar I came up with listening to somebody, I was listening to Dave East actually.
Yeah.
I was listening to Dave East and he said something like, I'm the hottest in the city. Even the lawyers and the judges know, or something like that. You know what I mean? He said something along those lines like, I'm the hottest in the city. The police and the judges know. But he was pretty much saying the law know he the hottest in the city.
Yeah.
And so that's how I thought of the first bar, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, well, why would you want to be in the hottest in the city like that? You know what I mean? Like, damn, you might be hot for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Days East, because I actually like his music and I rock with him heavy.
Yeah, y'all both Muslim too, so y'all got that bond in there.
He's an op, man, you know what I'm saying? He's official, you know, Wayno too, Slum Laker, man. Word. Nah, yeah, I mess with his music heavy, but I was just listening to that and I understood what he was trying to say. Like, he wasn't saying it literally, he was metaphoring it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so hot that even the judges know him, and you know what I'm saying? But I doubt that's the case. So I was just thinking of how I just flipped that, and then from there, my pen just kept going, you know what I mean? I had some different things on my mind, some different things I wanted to address. Those last 4 bars, I wanted to address how I was feeling, you know what I'm saying, with the women, you know what I mean, or my situations with women. Wanted to make sure that I made mention of the dean, but I was doing, and I also wanted to make sure that I'm coming for these dudes' heads, man. Like, I want these dudes to know, like, I ain't playing with these bars. Like, I'm spitting at these dudes, man. They're not gonna be able, like, these are hollow tips that no bulletproof can protect you from, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really my mentality too in writing, is like, yo, I'm coming for anybody, I'm coming for these. I'm gonna make this undeniable. It was one of the first songs I dropped in a while, and it was real, like, you know, it was a real good reception that I got out of it. You know, I have core listeners, and the core listeners picked up on it nice. So it was dope. It was real dope.
Word. Yo, that's crazy how, like, all it takes is, like, you know, like 1 or 2 bars to just get everything started, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so many people, like, artists especially, get wrapped up on those first 2 bars, but then a lot of people, that's all the only hurdle they got, and then from there, it's just a sprint,
That's
man.
That's it. Once you got, like, that's how it is for me. I'm not gonna lie, like, for me, I write weird. Like, sometimes I could only write a few bars at a time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could write a whole 32 bars, a whole 48, 64 in one sitting. And I think going on a hiatus helps, because if you're so used to writing every day and then you take yourself on a hiatus, your mind is still doing that. You might not be writing it down, but your mind's still registering bars, or you might be drinking a milkshake. Oh shit, the milkshake punchline, whatever, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, it happens as an artist. So when you come back and you got that first 2 bars to give you that spark, it's like, everything I wanted to say is coming out now. You know what I mean?
Yo, it's crazy too, because, like, I got a couple beats from Radical, and one of them I couldn't really think of, like, how to start it. Then, like, I thought of one line: never paid attention, now you got to pay admission. And then from there it was like, yo, and then from there it just took off.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh man, I'll spit that for you later. I'm not gonna do it on here yet. We're gonna wait for that. But yeah, I'm gonna let you hear that, because I'm telling you, that's all it takes is like 1 or 2 bars, and it's just like, all right, it's a wrap.
Nah, yeah, I gotta hear that, because I know how you get with your pen too. Facts.
Yeah, but for the listeners that don't know, Prophet's a really good friend of mine, and I think the first time I met you was at Gravity, right?
Yeah, the first time I heard about Tax, man, Poppy Shampoo, he was all like, yo, I know this artist we should try to get involved with, we should work with. You know what I'm saying? We having this show, we should try to get him to perform at it. He's nasty, he makes beats. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Let me hear this dude. And I'm gonna be real, like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing like my man Poppy Shampoo, whatever, that's my dog. Like, you know what I mean? Got a wild love for him, knew him for years, went to high school with him, everything. But when I think about the type of music he listened to or the type of music he makes, I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. He's trying to tell me about a rapper and a producer. I don't know what to expect. So he's like, you know what I mean? I'm not expecting nothing crazy, and I'm not, also at the same time, I'm not expecting something garbage. I'm just like, all right, what type of rap is he about to show me? Nigga show me some of his songs on SoundCloud, and she showed me the ones that you was making the beats for, and I was like, wait, why do you listen to this nigga? Like, this is the type of music I listen to. Why are you listening to this? But you know, he's that well-rounded in music. Shout out, that really opened my eyes on my perspective, like, you know what I mean, my respect for him and his taste in music. You know what I mean? He got awesome taste in music, you know what I mean? Because the type of shit that he listens to and he performs, and then the type of shit he was showing me from you, I was like, what? But you know what I'm saying? That's when I was like, oh yeah, we definitely got to mess with this dude. We definitely got to, you know what I mean, work with him. And then, yeah, it was at the Gravity event. That's when we first met. And then shit just sailed off from there. It was dope.
Now, one thing about that, before we get into your song, one thing about that event that I really liked about you was that, you know, you were emceeing the event, and then, like, when it was your turn to perform, like, you literally had the whole building in your hand. And there aren't many people that have that ability to captivate so many people. If you're listening and you've never been to one of Prophet's shows, like, you definitely need to go, because it's something that very few people that I've seen have that attention. Like, you'll have some people that'll get some of the crowd, and then some people in the back texting trying to holler at girls. This nigga gets on stage and drops the beat, and everybody listens. It's ridiculous, man. It's like the president's up there speaking. Like, everybody listens and they absorb, like, every word this nigga is saying. Like, he has really good presence, man. So I definitely, like, and he has has the bars and the songs to do it, which is great. You know, it's one thing to grab people's attention, but what you do with that is like huge. Yeah, this dude's
appreciate you, bro. For real.
This dude's an entertainer, man.
Yeah, appreciate
like
you,
that.
bro. You know what I'm saying? For real. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what happens when you have amazing energy in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, when I listen to your music, and then you know what I'm saying, I know that we're on the same lineup. I gotta come with it, bro. Like, I got to. Like, I'm like, shit. This is a lot of pressure because this nigga can spit, and I know he probably about to perform his ass off. What you did, like, you know what I'm saying? First time up there, everybody doesn't want to go back to Rico, but that's nobody's name except for yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And if y'all don't know about that glass house, y'all ain't never gonna know about it till y'all come to a performance. So y'all better come through to these performances because you get the crowd jumping with that one for sure. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just kind of the thing that go with it. You know what I mean? When you up against or up along with other dudes that's nice, you know what I'm saying? That gives me an ill motivation. You know what I'm saying? Unlike other people in Boston who might feel like, what? You know what I mean? I gotta shit on this nigga. It make me feel like, damn, I gotta make sure that this is you know what I mean? This is a energy that I'm gonna keep up with the energy and I'm gonna also expand on it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's dope. It's dope, man. For real. Hell yeah.
Nah, yeah, even with Saucy Saturday, man, that was a good, good show with us out there too. You know what I mean?
Yo, my favorite part of Saucy Saturday was performing Make It Here, nigga. How about that? How about, you know what I'm saying? Niggas was like, yo, niggas in the crowd was like, yo, go up there. You gotta go up there. I was like, shit, let me go up there, man. That was ill, bro. That was dope.
Nah, that I ain't gonna lie, that meant a lot to me, man. 'Cause I was like, I know how much you love the song, and I'm performing it.
Yeah.
You in the crowd singing it too, and it's like, yo, go up there.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm all saying this shit word for word, nigga. Like, parts that he's catching his breath on, I'm still going. Like, that's up, yo. No bullshit, man. No bullshit. You know, real recognize real, man. For real. Niggas respect, you know what I mean, and appreciate good music always.
Nah, no, definitely, man. Yo, let's just take a second to play the song we just explained, and then we'll get into the next one, all right?
Sounds good. Let's do it. Prophet, What You Gonna Do freestyle remix.
All right, man. So that was just that last song. Tell us a little bit about this next song.
So yeah, this next song I actually recorded before I recorded the last song that I just explained, What You Gonna Do. I recorded You Ain't a Killer probably like over a year ago, easily. Maybe 2 years ago even. I think I recorded it 2 years ago. I just always loved the beat. I'm a huge Big Pun fan, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Big Pun. When I found that beat, I just went right in with it. And the content that I was in a space, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in a specific space thinking about the situation that, you know what I mean, I'm in and the situation that the people I'm around in. You know what I mean? I wrote most of it overnight when I was working security. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was working an overnight shift security. I was in a space by myself and I was just like, you have nothing. When you're doing security overnight, sometimes you have nothing but to think, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I was just thinking real heavy and there was a lot of things weighing heavy on me. So I was like, I got to address these issues.
So let's do a lyrical breakdown if you don't mind.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, whenever you're ready, let's jump right into it.
So I started off saying, losing track of my thoughts, I'm still pacing. Never see defeat, even though my mind's racing. So that right there is just running and track bars, but relating it to my mind. You know what I'm saying? Losing track of my thoughts, I'm still pacing. You know, tracks pacing. Never see defeat, even though my mind's racing. So I never see defeat, but also defeat is a play on words for defeat. You know what I'm saying? It's the most common one. So, and you know, racing, move, feet moving or whatever. Never see defeat, even though my mind's racing. Sleeping for a dream. What happens when you're awakened? I envision, so I see what I'm chasing. So people are chasing their dreams, but you only have dreams when you're asleep. When I'm awake for whatever I'm chasing, and that's called envisioning. You know what I'm saying? So I envision something. I don't dream about something. If I dream about it, I envision it in reality and go get it. What happens when you're awake and sleeping for a dream? What happens? I envision, so I see what I'm chasing. Welcome to the occasion. Your girl fall for me like temptation. You know, self-explanatory. I got these girls fall for the prophet, boy. Nah, yeah, you know, self-explanatory. Your girl fall for me like temptation. Couple niggas blazing, fine women raging. I watch it all happen like a Mason. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I know that the last bar, I watch it all happen like a Mason, might raise eyebrows, but I go on into explaining it. So I watch it all happen like a Mason. Secrets of knowledge or using your weakness. This deep shit, like the truth making me see sick. So now I'm talking like, you know, people have their speculation. Oh, Mason, secret society, devil worshippers, blah. But that's the thing. Like, when you really study the history of Masonry, or when you study what a Mason is and what, not necessarily, you never have real access to what they study, but you can get an understanding of what they are understanding and studying. When you look at it, you question yourself, like, yo, is it secrets of knowledge, or are they just using a person's weakness? That's all it is, like, in some senses. But I also leave it so ambiguous, it's for whatever the listener wants to interpret it. Because when I first grew up hearing about Masons and stuff, I was like, whoa, devil worshippers, nah. And then as I grew up and developed the understanding understanding, I started to understand and refine my thoughts more. So I leave it ambiguous for what the people think it is. But secrets of knowledge or using your weakness, this deep shit, like the truth making me seasick. Lay low, caseload, shells, fake foes. Shit's corny and they want you to take souls. So, you know, people lay low with a caseload of shells for fake foes. The reason why I say fake foes is because people you going after, the piece of people you got these shells for, these cases, and I'm specifically speaking to people in urban environments, in the hood, in the ghetto where we come from. When they doing this, it's fake foes. Like, that's not really your enemy. I say fake foes because it's not really your enemy. Your enemy is not the person that you loading up guns against. It's the people you voting for or you're not voting for. You know what I'm saying? And these type of things. So fake foes, shit's corny, and they want you to take souls. So whoever's running this whole grand scheme of things, whether it might be the Masons, if people think it's that, or whether it might just be the people in power, you know what I'm saying? Whoever they may be, shit's corny, and they want you to take souls and make dough for jail sales that take hold. Now, when I say jail sales, I actually say jail sales, S-A-L-E-S, and then I'm also saying C-E-L-L-S at the same time. So it's jail sales, but it's also jail sales. They want you to take souls of precious lives. So it's like, shit's corny, and they want you to take souls and make dough for jail sales that take hold of precious lives for a prize of a bankroll. I could never understand, but neither could you. So I'm living how I'm living, and I do what I do. I know what I know and stay away from what I don't. I probably say what they won't because I say what I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just playing with words. I probably say what they won't because I say what I want. Now I'm soaring till I'm scorching, approaching the solar. Still colder than ice boulders, I'm bipolar. So I'm soaring so high, I'm flying so high that I'm starting to get hot because I'm coming close to the sun. I'm approaching the solar. And at the same time, I'm still colder than ice boulders. I guess I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
Yo, these new jacks better learn to respect. A G getting money, hit him with the Nino effect.
New Jack City play, right?
New Jack City play.
Yeah.
Funny thing about that bar is, actually, when I recorded it, I messed it up. But the way it came out sounded so good, I just left it like that. And that's the funny thing. I wrote it as the way I said it on the song. When I let my cousin, who's locked up right now, you know what I'm saying, free my nigga Lil, when I let him hear the song, he was all like, you said a G getting money, hit him with the Nino effect? I'm like, yeah. He's like, nigga, you just offed yourself.
Yeah.
You feel me? So the way I fixed the line. It was supposed to be, yo, these new jacks can't earn my respect. You a G getting money, here's the Nino effect. It would have been a way harder bar. But when I went to record it, I recorded it. I was, you know what I'm saying, the way it sounds. Yo, these new jacks better learn to respect. A G getting money, hit them with the Nino effect. And I was like, shit, I said it the way I wrote it and not the way I was supposed to. I fixed it. But I'm like, you know what? People's gonna get it. It's just the play on words.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I definitely make note that I messed up on that bar, but the shit sounded too hot to fix it. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my nigga Lil, because he helped me think of a bar better than it. So whenever y'all hear that bar, just think of, yo, these new jacks can't earn my respect. You a G getting money, here's the Nino effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or you might just hear that in another song. Who knows? You feel me? Oh, word. But I keep it classic regardless. I couldn't write whack shit, trying my hardest. Real talk. You a butterfly. You a butter knife. I'm a real hawk. Nigga, you a cap gun while I'm going off. So I'm now making comparisons. You know what I'm saying? You a butter knife, I'm a real hawk, I'm a real something that stabs somebody. You a cap gun while I'm going off, no comparison. I'm full force while you're hesitant. Boston, got more medical than Harrison. Massachusetts, you know we got the medicine. So now when I say that, even people from Boston don't get what I'm saying. Yeah. Boston got more medical than Harrison. We have a place here called Boston Medical Center. It's on Harrison Ave.
I knew what you meant, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hip.
Word. So when I'm talking about medical, I'm talking about, you know, the legalization of, you know what I mean, marijuana in the state. So Boston got more medical than Harrison Ave. Massachusetts. Instead of Massachusetts, it's Massachusetts now. You know we got the medicine. Come and take over your spot like a settlement. Now, this is all, like, this the subliminal thought behind it. I'm saying I'll come and take over a nigga's spot like a settlement. The subliminal thought behind it all is, this is all capable when settlers came and took over this land from the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? So they came and took over the spot like a settlement. This nigga's talking real heavy. Now I'm talking in third person because, you know, that's what important people do. They talk about themselves in third person. In the song, I say, this nigga talking real heavy. Where's the guap? I molly wop niggas for real fetty. So when you molly wop somebody, it's like you slap somebody. And I'm playing with the words fetty wop. So when I'm getting, where's the guap? Where's the money? I molly wop niggas for real fetty. You know what I'm saying? Just playing with the word. Yeah. I said, my Ock got a KD, he sooner unleash. And it's funny, me and Dave both pray to the east. So my Ock, my brother, you know what I'm saying, in Islam, my brother, he got a KD. A KD, the song is called Trey 5, that's a KD. You know what I'm saying? My cousin really got a trade, like a Trey 5 in real life. He really got a Trey Pound in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I wrote the bar, he really got, you know what I'm saying, a KD. He really got a, so I said my aunt got a KD. He's soon to unleash. He really got a Trey 5. Knowing him, he probably would have unleashed it on somebody.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Me and Dave both pray to the East. And it's funny, me and Dave are both Muslim. And his name is Dave East. We pray to the East. And it's funny, me and Dave both pray to the East. I told myself, never forget. Anything that I want, I work and I get. I couldn't picture anything clearer. Plus, I already seen the future like Sierra, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, pretty much like I already seen the future like Sierra. That's a bar that a lot of people don't catch, but if people paying attention, they catch it. You know what I mean? Kicking it till my competition's done with a heavy play on words, thinking of big pun. I'm kicking it till my competition's done with a heavy play on words. Now, big pun, literally translated in English, a pun is a play on words. Big is, big, grand, heavy. So I say heavy play on words, thinking of big pun. When you go back in my verse and you think of all the names I dropped, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Sierra, Future, Fetty Wap, Dave East, and when you think of like the bars, Boston Medical, Harrison, all of these are puns. I'm using heavy puns throughout the whole song, and it's a big pun beat. You know what I'm saying? So just like, you know what I mean? With a heavy play on words, thinking of big pun, rest in peace. He's one of my favorites. So yeah, that's the end of that one.
I have a real appreciation for the lyrics. A lot of what you were going through, like when you're into lyricism, like you're dissecting it actively. Right. Like it's almost like being in a crowd or like a battle rap event. Like you're actively listening, trying to catch everything, you know what I mean? Exactly. So it's good because then even when you ran through it, a couple of them was like, okay, like, I was thinking of the right thing, you know what I mean?
Right,
Stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Because even it's dope too, like as artists, when we write things, sometimes they interpret it completely different than how the artist intended, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's always the ill thing, you know what I mean? That's the beauty of music. People can always take what they want from it, you know what I'm saying? And the artist intends for it a different way, you know what I mean? It's ill.
So really quick, same question again. How did that whole song come about?
So yeah, that song pretty much like, I always wanted to go off that beat, you know what I mean? Like that's always been one of my favorite hip hop beats. And I was just sitting down, like I was working overnight at Berkeley College of Music, you know what I mean, doing security. I was stressed out. I was going through a lot of things, just a lot of situations in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of my best friends that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Like my right hand man, he's locked up right now, you know what I'm saying? He's looking at a situation that's not, you know what I mean? That I would never wish no jail time on anybody, you know what I'm saying? No matter how petty it is, you know what I mean? I don't care if you slapped a tree and got arrested, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still wouldn't wish no jail time on you for that, but, so any situation is there, and you know what I mean? That type of setting's ugly, but, you know what I mean? Just his specific situation, it just, it bothered me a lot, and it still bothers me, and I have a lot of family who, who's involved in the streets and things like that, who've been getting locked up, you know what I'm saying? Like on a consistent basis, you know what I'm saying? That's been it's been really weighing down heavy on me because, like 1 week I'll really be kicking it with somebody at their crib, eating, praying with them, whatever. And then the next week they locked up and I ain't gonna see them for like a whole year. And it's hard to write letters and go make those visits, you know what I'm saying? Even though I do it, like I'm saying, it's still hard, you know what I mean? So like dealing with that type of pain, and then also like at the same time I was really like into heavy studying. Like I used to just have these study regimens where I would watch mad lectures, watch mad debates, you know what I mean? Go do researches on stuff, you know what I mean? I was just like, just started jotting down bars, and I was just jotting down bars, and that verse actually came together in entirety. Like I wrote the verse in pieces. I ended up just putting certain parts in the middle of this and that, and it just ended up being a whole verse. So I wrote that whole verse in like one sitting, kind of in like pieces, but then it just all pieced together at the same time. So it was real dope. I was just dealing with a lot, you know what I mean? Like I use music as an escape, you know what I mean? That's usually when my best and deepest content comes out.
No, I was going to say that like, it's crazy because like a recurring theme is like using your music as an escape. And like, I know a lot of people, it's almost like an overused motif, but it's really true. Like people really do use this as an escape. Like I know I've done it plenty of times, and like a lot of people do it too. It's a way to like release, you know what I mean? Like there's been situations where it's just like, I could go, do something that could get me in a lot of trouble, or I could just write about it and never put it out and just get that anger or whatever out, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because like in the current state of hip hop right now, like you don't get that same kind of value, or at least it's not valued the same way, but it's still very like therapeutic for people, you know what I mean? Like I think now's atmosphere, like instead of just like, writing everything out, like I think people like the feeling
behind is what they're like capturing more than the writing marketing itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's literally what it is. Like, people say music is like you said, it's an overused motif, how it's an escape, but it's all about how people are escaping. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are dealing with real life situations and then taking drugs, popping, you know what I'm saying, popping pills, mollies, sipping lean, doing all this shit. And then instead of talking about the problems that they're dealing with, they're talking about how they're coping with the problems.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's literally, like you said, they're not capturing what the problems are. They're capturing the feeling behind the problems. Oh, well, when I'm sad, I'm going to pop this. When I'm happy, I'm going to pop this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? People are not really, you know, when I'm writing something, like, again, like, I'm not just, like, writing about anything. I'm not just wasting my time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, like, sharing my real-life experiences with people, you know what I mean? So, it might, and people might be like, oh, it might be too serious. I want to listen to some music to party and dance. But, like, yeah, everybody wants to listen to that type of music when it's time to party and dance. But when you're really feeling some type of way, do you want to listen to the music that's going to tell you, hey, go find a different outlet to deal with? Because, nigga, when I was feeling some type of way, music was my outlet. Like, not even just writing. Going to listen to certain artists and certain music help me deal and get over pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, music should be that outlet. Music should not be telling me go to other outlets like drugs and sex and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be that way, but that's where the value of music is lost at the same, in some cases, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not to go too deep into this, but it's crazy because like Russ was saying like a couple weeks back, like, oh, well, you know, if you're sitting here and telling people to do Xannies and pop pills, like, you're an idiot. But then you have Fredo Santana pop up and he's like, fuck you, I take this shit to cope with the shit I dealt with, like, yo, niggas is dying and blah, blah, blah. Him coming out and saying that, it's like, yo, like, I might not agree with how you deal with it, but I understand it. Compared to other artists, they just talk, that's all they talk about.
Right.
Like, it's not like, yo, I'm going through this. Like, I see niggas die in front of me. Like, people in Chicago, yes, but a lot of other people, like, it's trendy to sing about this stuff and you're hurt. And then when you figure out these niggas' problems, I'm like, you don't got problems like these niggas that are really coping with it. I'm like, yo, some chick broke your heart. I know niggas that are like losing family members every day. Like you said, either getting locked up, shot, or something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
And it just kind of takes like, you know, like the credibility out of like the music almost, because it's just like, yo, like, well, not the credibility. It just kind of devalues it a little bit.
Yeah, you know, and that, you know what I'm saying? That there's two ways to look at it, you know what I'm saying? Just to like wrap it up. But I don't blame certain artists. I don't blame the artists for doing that, you know what I'm saying? For rapping about certain shit. Because like you said, there's real artists who's talking about, they like, nigga, I really pop these pills. I really sip this lean to help me cope with real pain. You know what I'm saying? I have a problem with the record execs, the people in power, the DJs who's pushing this. Because now you have artists who, they might not be popping no pills, they might not be doing any of this thing, you know what I'm saying, because they don't deal with, that's just not their life, and that's fine. The reason why they're even going down this route, talking about it or doing it, is because that's the only way to get on the radio now. That's the only way to get spins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, for the people who's really dealing with the pain, you know what I'm saying, you kind of making a mockery out of them.
Yeah.
You're really making a mockery out of them. So those people who's making that music really talking about the stuff that they're doing versus the people who's talking about that stuff just to get on. I'm mad at the record execs and the people in power who's letting that shit, who's pushing that agenda or letting that shit slide. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
people hold the artists sometimes way too responsible, because at the end of the day, artists are people that they just want to express themselves. If you don't like the way they expressing themselves, be mad that the record execs are putting them on World Star on YouTube and, you know what I mean, putting them in your face. Don't be mad at the nigga because he's an idiot. Like, or don't be mad at the nigga because he's had an unfortunate life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing.
Nah, it's an age-old thing, you know, like now it's like the pill popping, lean sipping era, but before it was like, yo, the real street shit, like, yo, I sell drugs, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's gonna happen like that all the time, but like, at least back then it was just like, all right, it was cool to be a drug dealer, like, in hip-hop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now it's just like, it's cool to be the junkie. you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And I make mention of that in one of my songs that I'm about to drop called Wolfgang. You know what I'm saying? I literally make mention of that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we used to look up to dealers. Now all we do is play the fiends. Right and left is my double cup. The way I make your shit lean. Nigga, we grew up, we listened, and this is the thing too, right? When we grew up, we listened to the niggas who was hustling and dealing. Them niggas was really trying to survive. At least some of them were. Saying at least some of them had no options and were really trying to make it and survive. So when you listen to their music, you can still get moral values out of it. You can still get like ill shit and ill qualities out of it. It wasn't all just, oh, kill, shoot, shoot. I think Cam said it best. Like, why you mad? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a reporter of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just a reporter. So don't be mad at the reporter. Be mad at the reality that it's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before we close out with your song and then also do this one last ad, is there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say just support positivity. You know what I mean? Support positivity and be very conscious of what positivity looks like. Don't let people tell you what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, certain things are instinctual. You know what I mean? Go with your gut, you know what I mean? And if you enjoy certain things, enjoy it. But don't forget to appreciate what deserves to be appreciated as well. We people. I say that about, you know what I mean, my music and good music in general. My music can never be, you know what I'm saying, unheard or forgotten because there's always going to be real people who need it. But for the people even for the masses who's not into it, just be real with yourselves, man. And even if you don't appreciate the music, even if you can't listen to it, appreciate the reasoning and the intention behind it. We just trying to do something positive for people. You know what I mean? I could get on the mic and say a whole bunch of different wild stuff, but I don't want to do that to people. I think No Malice said it real ill. Imagine how many people got locked up. Imagine how many people shot somebody. Imagine how many people did drugs with my music playing in the background. You know what I mean? Music is an important thing, and music should definitely entail and relate all life experiences. I'm trying to do something positive. I'm done with the negativity. So if y'all want to support positivity or y'all support positivity, let's get this, man. For real, this is for y'all.
All right, I'm going to link the songs in the description, but really quick, how can we follow you?
So you can follow me on SoundCloud, Prophet, Prophet, is Percussion, like the instrument, Percussion. Same thing on Instagram, Prophet is Percussion. And then on Facebook, The Sounds of Percussion. That's TheSoundzof, one word, The Sounds of Percussion, Percussion. And you can catch me at the Future Perfect Podcast. You can catch me at I Am Because We Are events. You can catch me across the whole world creating wreck and havoc. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter too, because I need to get that popping.
Yeah.
Prophet_617 at Prophet_617. Y'all gonna see me everywhere, man. It's gonna be undeniable, inevitable. We out.
Word. Really quick, futureperfect.blog. That's the official website for everything Future Perfect. New episodes get posted when we're going live, gets posted. A lot of interesting think pieces on music, movies, games, all that kind of stuff goes there as well. Follow us, official Future Perfect, everywhere. That's Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitch, everywhere. If you're not tuned into the Twitch, you're slipping because every Thursday at 8:30 we stream new episodes. So make sure you're on top of that. You can find me everywhere at Luxury Tax. That's LuxuryTakz.
Everything lowercase.
Yeah, everything lowercase, all one word, please.
Yeah.
And then really quick, let me just take care of this ad and then we're going to get into your song, all right? So this episode is a special episode, so it's the first of many Friday episodes. If you're really enjoying this content, please comment, subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcasts, follow us on SoundCloud. Give us your feedback. You can email us directly at futureperfect@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all and support Future Perfect Podcast. They really doing amazing things, y'all, for real.
Appreciate it. And this special Friday episode is brought to you by JC Enterprises. Their owner, Jeremy, is currently training for the Team for Kids Marathon in New York, November 5th. If you're in the area, please go support. You won't miss this guy. He's full of energy. He's going to be running his ass off. This nigga be running miles and me forgetting to run his company sometimes on it. So right now he has a special deal for our listeners. If you submit an inquiry on his website, jcconnects.com, with the promo code Future Perfect Fit, you will get your first session absolutely free. Again, Future Perfect Fit on jcconnects.com. And trust me, this guy is amazing. I've been training with him for a little bit. My leg's a little fucked up though, so I've been out the game. But this dude works with you, works with your schedule. It's crazy. He's training for a marathon and then still has his clients that he's able to work out with though. This dude works really hard. Great personality, very professional. One of the best personal trainers I ever met in Boston, man. I'm not going to sell you on something I don't believe in. So again, JC Connects, then the code is Future Perfect Fit.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna just add to that. You know what I'm saying? He's not my personal trainer because I don't even work out like I'm supposed to. But I tell you this, aside from personal training, he's just one of the best people I've ever met, period.
Yeah, Facts. Real genuine dude, real down to earth, very focused dude. I'm telling you, like, you can trust this dude with your fitness needs. I do, like I said, I'm on injury right now, but we be boxing sometimes. He has his own location in Dorchester. They can come to wherever you're training if you're in the Boston area. So again, jcconnects.com, code Future Perfect Fit. All right, so you think we're in a good place?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So one more time, just give us the name of the song and we're going to go straight into it.
Yeah, so it's Prophet, You Ain't a Killer, remix freestyle. Prophet, You Ain't a Killer, remix freestyle.
All right, it's Future Perfect.
Bless.